everybody. It is 2 o'clock and we will get things going. I am not used to doing this meeting in 2/3. It seems like we have a lot bigger crowd today than normal. Welcome. I was thinking this must just be, seems like 2 or 3 weeks since we got together the last time for the first time in a long time. And it's 4 weeks ago today. It's hard to believe how time flies so much. But I will start off by recognizing our Employee of the Month. Our Employee of the Month, many of you probably don't know Stella Sarfo, who works in the laundry. She has been with us for just about 3 years. Willetta says she's a big presence within the department. She works the evening shift during the week and then alternating weekends to make sure that our community needs are met. She is originally from Ghana, West Africa. She moved here just about a decade ago to be with her son, to support him as he went to school and worked. This is the key. She lives with her son and grandson in Clarksville. So she drives back and forth. She works the evening shift. And we really count on her. And these are the people behind the scenes that many people have absolutely no idea that they're even here. And they're such an important piece of our operation. She said that she found the people here at the Heritage are so nice and appreciates that everybody speaks to her so respectfully. She's very complimentary of Willetta Page. When she's not here, her hobbies are watching movies and reading her Bible. Willetta, of course, loves her. She says that she speaks very admirably about her. She said Stella is committed to excellence. She corrects all the wrongs and reports them to me and helps maintain a safe work environment in the laundry. And Stella says she believes that she has the best job. So that's fantastic. We give her a round of applause, please. All right. I believe I see Mr. Gray sitting over there. He had a wagon before, so I wasn't sure where he was going. But anyways, the Grays are the resident spotlight for the month of June. Very nice picture of them. And normally I just take the highlights and put things in my own words, but I liked how they started this out. It said, what are the chances that a boy from Buenos Aires, Argentina would ever meet, let alone fall in love, and then marry a girl from Owensboro, Kentucky? Who could have written that better? Punchline, next month will be their 59th wedding anniversary, so I think that answers that question. So, congratulations on that. They lived in Texas, Kansas, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Hong Kong, Kentucky, and then Brentwood. Education, I learned this, I had no idea. Between the two of them, they have 6 college degrees, including 3 master's degrees and 1 PhD. Mrs. Gray was a first and second grade teacher, and reading was her specialty. Mr. Gray had a 33-year career with Whirlpool Corporation. Since he started with Whirlpool as a research engineer and progressed to VP, Research and Development and Technical Services, and Managing Director of Appliance Company in Hong Kong. That's where the Hong Kong came in. They have 2 children, 5 grandchildren. They lived in Brentwood for 20 years. It says they were one of the first residents in the new Redbud building, but don't let that fool you. We knew the Grays for years and years and years before they moved into Redbud. We're glad that they did. They do own a farm in nearby Lewisburg where they enjoy hunting and having barbecues. And said life has been good here at the Heritage, albeit a bit sober this past COVID-19 year. I hear you. Enjoying new friends and looking forward to the full opening of the amenities. So let's give Mr. Gray a round of applause that he can bring home to Mrs. Gray. We have had 2 new resident move-ins since our last meeting. Ms. Catherine Rice moved in last week into Redbud E117, and she moved here from Austin, Texas. And Mr. Ed Tegans and Ms. Marilyn, I can't read my writing. Martin, thank you. Again, I got these darn contacts on, so my mask doesn't steam up, but they don't work so good with the light. And this Marilyn Martin, they moved into Villa 110 last week, and they moved all the way from Brentwood, Tennessee. So give them a round of applause, please. And with that, I will turn things over to Judy Good.
Thank you. Those of you who have been to these meetings in the past, the microphone, Kathy and I had to turn on. And it's so nice to get a microphone that I don't have to turn on that actually works. If you remember in the days, we're always fiddling with it. Well, it's been an interesting year and a half. And I am happy to say that today is June 24th. And for the month of June, the marketing department has 5 sales. And to even make it even more special, Steve Hobbs, who is on vacation this week, made 2 sales this week. And he made 3 sales for the entire month. Everybody is doing really well in the marketing department. We welcomed Kristen Farrell, our new marketing assistant, so please stop by and say hello to her. She's originally from South Carolina, and she made the trek here and moved to, I think it's Murfreesboro she lives in. And we were very fortunate to get her to join us on the marketing team. So all our number people, you have your paper and pen ready? Phase 1 and 2. We have 182 sold. That's an 83.87% sold percentage. Phase 4, this is a great number. 58 sold. We are just under 60%, so 59.79%. All combined phases, we have 239 sold. You know, a few years ago that wouldn't sound too great. That's fantastic. That's a 76.43% sold percentage. I'm thrilled about that. I never thought I would be saying that in the 11 and a half years I've been here. But after what we've been through the last year and a half, that's an amazing accomplishment for the small team we have here in the marketing department and all of your participation. Remember, we have the Refer a Friend program. This month in June, if you bring a new friend and introduce them to us who has never spoken to anybody in the marketing department, and they decide that they want to move in before the end of the year, you would get a $3,000 credit towards $3,000 credit towards either a California closet or blinds or shutters. And if you already have blinds and shutters in a California closet, just talk to me. We'll maybe be able to do something else. But if you bring a new name to us this month, and you only have a couple more days left, we've had a couple referrals already this month, it's a great opportunity to have a nice little extra added incentive. The normal Refer a Friend program is $1,000 if your friend moves in, credit towards 1 monthly fee. If you help us facilitate someone moving in who is already on our list, so you didn't introduce them to us initially, but you're a procuring cause of them moving in, we will give you a $500 credit off of 1 monthly fee. So right now, year to date, our net goal for attrition sales is 18. We have 10. So we've just completed 6 months, or completing 6 months, half the year. We only have 8 more sales to go in the attrition sales. That's existing places that someone has lived in prior. Phase 4, or initial sales, we have a goal of 14. So far, we have 7 that we've sold. So we are right on track with our goals for 2021. Well, closings, attrition closings, we have budgeted 18. We have 8 completed. Have a little ground to make up for that. So 10 more, I feel confident we will achieve that. Initial closings, our goal is 12. And we have 5 so far. But this week we had 2 sales. So we're doing very well with that. so 7 more there. Very busy this month. We had an event that you saw, our first in-person guest event, which was in Magnolia Courtyard, and it was wonderful. And I think we're going to probably have 2 to 3 sales from that event. And if you know someone who attended that event, please talk to them and encourage them to come back again. And I love saying this, we are now sold out of every single Williamson floor plan in the community. So the Williamson floor plan, which is a popular hit, the last 2 sold this week. No more available. So if anybody wants a large place here in the Heritage, they have to talk to us and plan with us because they're going to have to wait. So it's a great time. Any questions for marketing? All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, it's so good to be back over here and seeing everybody. I missed last month. I was out on vacation, one that I haven't been in a long time, so I was able to enjoy it. Everybody in the health center is sending their good wishes over here to the meeting today. They haven't been out of the health center to see everybody, but I told them I would make sure that they get to see the video, and also I would extend their greetings and saying greetings from the health center. Today, we hit our highest census that we've had in a long time. We're at 54 residents within the health center. Our budget is 58, so we are seeing the growth and the climb in the health center. And we've had a wing down unoccupied for a while. Under our regulations, we had to keep that wing in case we had some COVID cases with residents. We're going to be pushing that wing opening up over the next week and a half. So we're going to actually start seeing us move towards that 58 residents in the health center. So we're seeing growth. We're seeing families in the health center visiting their family members. So we're continuing to work with that and work with the guidelines that the government has placed on the nursing facility, and we will continue to do that, and hopefully the health center will even open up even further as regulation changes. Over the past year, we performed 10,157 COVID tests in the health center. That's a lot of tests, a lot of swabbing the nose and administering in the health center. We're not through yet. We will still have to do those as following testing guidelines. Of those 10,157 tests, 66 positives. That's a very low percentage. 46 of them were employees and 20 of them were residents. Since we started vaccination, whether an employee or a resident received a vaccine here on site during a vaccination clinic back in January, February, March, or they received it off-site, we've had 579 individuals vaccinated on this campus. We had a little setback last week. On Wednesday morning, we had an employee that woke up sick, went to their doctor, and tested positive for COVID. This individual is right now is currently in the hospital and struggling with it, but we're sending her wishes that she will recover. On Friday morning, we started our testing again, our process of testing once we identify an individual, and we had another employee test positive this past Friday. So based on these 2 tests, we are continuing to test all the employees in the health center and all the residents in the health center twice a week. So we test Friday and Tuesday. So this past Tuesday we tested, past Friday we tested, and then Tuesday and Friday of the next week. We'll also test Friday of this week. So I'll put another video out this week. When I do my videos are for residents living in Summerfield. If a resident on the Heritage side tests positive, I will identify that it's a resident on the Heritage side. But otherwise, my videos are just for Summerfield residents and Summerfield employees. It's not, because we're only testing in Summerfield. We're not testing independent living. So we're only testing our nursing and our assisted living of Summerfield. So my videos are only related to employees and residents residing in Summerfield. All residents over the past last week, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday of this week, all the residents have been a negative. So we're hoping that Friday this week, we can't go to our monthly testing cycle until we have another 14-day, 2-week period, 2 times a week testing clear with no positives. So we will test again on this Friday, and hopefully we'll have all negatives. And then the next Tuesday and Friday of next week, we'll have all negatives, and then we'll go to our monthly testing cycle, and hopefully we'll never see any more again. But with employees not vaccinated, family members not vaccinated, it's probably a likelihood that we will probably see cases in the near future. So hopefully we don't, but just want to let you know that there's a possibility. That's all I have today, and it's good to see everybody. Oh, I do have one more thing. I just thought, I want to let you know, this will lead into Kathy, I want to let you know that Williamson Medical Center Clinic will be bringing on a new nurse practitioner on August 1st. Her name is Carrie Pete, and as we get more information, Kathy and I will get that out to everybody. So August 1st, Carrie Pete will be starting and helping out in the clinic. Angie will still be around, Ruth will still be around, but Carrie will be here. Angie and Rupert has been helping out with other projects, and so they're bringing on Carrie Pete to help with our clinic. So as we get more information, we'll definitely let you know. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and like Dalen says, they are bringing another nurse practitioner. A lot of the new residents are getting established in the clinic. The clinic's getting busy. If you haven't met Sharon, you need to stop down to the clinic and meet Sharon. She is the RN in there helping the nurse practitioners, and she's absolutely wonderful. She helps also coordinate blood draws. We do blood draws if you have a order from your physician still on Mondays and Thursday mornings at 9. All you need is an order from your doctor, and you can have blood work done. We still have the podiatrist coming in. He changed his day though. He doesn't come in on Thursdays now. He's semi-retired, so now he's coming in on Wednesdays, every 5 Wednesdays. You sign up with Karen, the concierge, for the podiatrist.
You looking for a senior living community?
What's that?
You looking for a senior living community?
I will ask him. He certainly does love us. That's a very good question. Very good question. Yeah. The audiologist, she continues to come, and she checks hearing aids and cleans hearing aids and does hearing screenings. Her name's Alicia Barker, and she comes the second Tuesday of every month, and she pretty well has been coming into the Heritage for years. She's associated with the Bill Wilkerson Hearing Clinic. But anyway, it's so good to be back at these meetings again. Slowly but surely, we're getting back to a semblance of our new normal, whatever that is. I know Ashley Burnett is getting the activities up and rolling again, and transportation, back to the store, bus trips, and it's just great. It's very needed, but I've got to be the Debbie Downer a little bit and just say, be a little cautious. That Delta variant is out there, and it is in Tennessee, and it's very real, highly contagious, and it's here. There were 7 new cases of the Delta variant just yesterday. They had to close the place down. luckily, it was only with unvaccinated people. So the Heritage residents, we're so very proud of you, but 99% of you are vaccinated, and that's just so wonderful. But when you're still out there in crowds, going to stores, being around people, family members and everything that are not vaccinated, you still need to be cautious. COVID's not over. It's better, but not over. And we don't know what the fall is going to bring. So keep your distance, wear your masks, keep washing your hands, and just, we can't let our guard down. You need to wear a mask when you come to therapy. You need to wear a mask in the clinic, any doctor's office, medical procedure, hospital. You still have to have your mask, so keep a mask with you. Also, I'd like to see, be honest here, how many of you have a current and updated list of your current medicine in your wallet or your purse? Look at you, you're wonderful. All right, yes, please do. Please do. In independent living, it is your responsibility to keep a list of your current meds. You never know when you can wake up one night, you fall. It only takes a second to fall. You fall, we call 911, you have chest pain. We want to know what your meds are so we can give them to you. They're not kept up on your face sheet. Your demographics is your name and your address, your family contacts, but it's up to you to keep a list of your current meds. So if you do not have it, please do. That's really, really important. Anybody that wants a post form, that is a form that Tennessee and about 16 other states recognize for CPR, end-of-life wishes, any of those that we hang on your refrigerator, please come see me. If you want to communicate those needs, we have a form that can do that, and that's a good thing to do. A couple reminders too to the newer residents. Good to see you here. If you're having any procedures, a heart ablation, skin cancer removal, anything done, small or big, please reach out to me, let me know. Sometimes little things turn into big things. Willowbrook Hospice uses our therapists here at the Heritage. We have relationships with people that we can set up services very quickly for you, but they take pre-planning. If you need a private suite over in Summerfield for recuperative care, we need to know that in advance. Home health needs to know. Even senior helpers putting in some private duty care needs some notice to get somebody, especially today with the staffing shortages. So the better that you communicate, and the more you communicate, the better. The better that we can follow through and get you what you need when you need it. I would like to thank Jan Ewing and the Wellness Committee. They had an excellent drug take-back day. That's a great time. They do it about 2, 3, maybe even 4 times a year. Police department comes, they take away all your old meds, get them out of your medicine cabinet, sharps. And Jan and the Wellness Committee enjoyed putting that on, and I heard a lot of people attended that, so that's great. We have a couple of healthcare presentations coming up. The first one is next Tuesday, right here, June 29th, right here in Poplar Hall. Dr. Paul Cook, orthopedic surgeon from TOA, is coming at 2 o'clock. And he's going to be talking about when is it the right time to have surgery on his shoulder. He's a shoulder and knee specialist. So if you have any orthopedic questions, it's a great time to come out because he'll do questions and answers after that. July 20th, our own IT, Michael Forsythe, will be presenting for the visually impaired. If you have any eye vision problems, you don't want to miss this. There is a Microsoft app. It's called the Scene A1 app. It can be downloaded on your iPhone, and it can become your communication, and it's amazing. Ann Bell told me about this, introduced me to this app. It actually can read documents, medicine bottles, handwriting, letters. It recognizes colors, it recognizes people's faces, and it narrates it for you. So he's going to demonstrate this app, how to download the app, and it's absolutely free. So that'll be in here July 20th at 2 o'clock with Michael. September 16th, Senior Helpers, it's Dementia Alzheimer's Month, and they wanted to have a presentation on dementia. Senior Helpers has agreed to do a presentation on normal aging versus aging with dementia or Alzheimer's. What to look for, what is normal, what isn't. I would like to mention, for the first time in 18 years, since 2002, the Food and Drug Administration just approved a brand new Alzheimer's medication. I can't pronounce it. I can spell it. It's so, I don't know who comes up with these names. It's like Aduhelm. But anyway, I guess it's pretty remarkable, and it just got approved. And it's an infusion you get every 4 weeks. It sure isn't cheap, that's for sure. But when a drug first gets approved, you end up having to pay for all the years of research it took to bring it to market. But this drug is showing a significant decline in the amyloid beta plaques that causes all the tangles in the brain that causes Alzheimer's. It's showing a lot of promise. They're very excited about it. I think it's only about $4,300 for an infusion, and you get one infusion every 4 weeks. But anyway, hopefully the price of that'll come down. But it's nice to know that with all the raising that we do for the Alzheimer's Association, they continue to do research and come out with their studies, and that they do have a new drug that they are very, very excited about. I want you to know that when you have an idea for something, if there's a presentation you want to see, an event that you want to have, you just need to reach out to me and let me know. When Dorothy Weaver came to me and asked for the repair clinic for the scooters and the wheelchairs, and we did that. And that was so well attended, and we will do that again. And it was Ann Bell that, brought the Microsoft app for the vision impaired to my attention, and we're going to do that. So if there's something that you don't see, you want to have, something you're interested in knowing more about, my door is always open, and just let me know. Is there any questions on anything? So good to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I forgot that Dalen and Kathy were out last meeting, and it is your first one. First meeting, it's kind of like the first committee meeting, food and beverage met in the conference room, and I walked in there, and it was just a weird feeling. And then, of course, I wasn't smart enough to remember that. And the next week, I was wondering who was in the conference room as I was coming in here for the resident council. And as I rounded the corner and looked in, I realized that was where I was supposed to be. So little by little, we're figuring this out. Dalen, just a piggyback on Dalen's report, we had some meetings this week, and we've been putting the statistics together, and I think at that, now you're at 10,100 and whatever, 60. When we did that, I think we're at 10,040 tests before we tested this week. And with the 66 positives, I don't have the number in front of me, but I think the positivity rate of our test was 0.00046% or something like that, so that's amazing. And furthermore, we have been at 100% resident vaccinations. And that's health center and the independent living side. So that's fantastic. Our employees are still right around that 70%, 69, 70%. We've been pushing real hard to get that higher, doing a lot of incentives. And we have had a lot of get vaccinated, but then, some people leave and the new people come in, so the number. But I did have my boss in town this week for a couple days, and I think across the country, Life Care Services manage communities, and we have about 140 of these across the United States. I believe corporately we're at about 55, 58%, which is, we're not happy with 70 or 69, but we're doing much better than our company. The last resident to have a positive COVID test, January 29th, I believe it was, at Summerfield. So that's doing a great job, and need to keep doing a great job. But like everybody says, unfortunately, this isn't over. But everything I see, even with the variants, that having the vaccine is all positive. So hopefully we can keep reinforcing that. We every 2 years we do a employee engagement survey, and every 2 years we do a resident satisfaction survey. They flip-flop years. Because of COVID, we did push the employee engagement study from 2020 to 2021, and we will be doing the resident satisfaction survey. I think October is when we're due for it this year, and more on that one later. So the employee engagement, we did that. We had, I believe it was an 82% response rate, which is very good. And just to share, I shared this with the council, and I was encouraged to share this with everybody here. There was, I think, 25 questions, 1 to 5, 5 being the top. And we overall ranked right around about a 4 out of 5, which is our company norm and the company that does the surveys outside of Life Care Services. And it was right around where we were in 2018. We thought, earlier this year, with everything everybody had gone through with COVID, that we would see a downward trend, and we really didn't. So that was good to see as far as this engagement survey goes. But I just wanted to share with you the highest scoring and the lowest scoring of the factors. The highest score, and this is across the board for all of our residents, was they want to and feel they provide the best possible care. Care can be at the health center, care can be in the dining room, care can be cleaning your apartment. So that was really good to see. And overwhelmingly, we did see that people really are proud of what they do and they're engaged in what they do. The second is they feel that they know what is expected of them, and they feel good about their work. Those rank 4.28, 4.24, and 4.21. Our lowest factors, good communication, which I bet any of our communities, that's going to be on the top, the bottom 3, and we're always striving, but you always can improve communication. Workload distributed fairly, 3.46, and that staff issues are resolved fairly, 3.47. So what do we do with this information? We are doing small groups, like we'll do Summerfield nursing staff, and then food and beverage, front of the house, dining room, food and beverage culinary, housekeeping. We've done 7 small groups. We have a few left to go. Carol Bagwell, our Human Resource Director, then we're taking notes, we're going through and sharing this information. We're sharing real verbatim stuff, a lot more detailed with each department. And then we'll be working with the department directors and the employees to come up with some action plans. And so these are all good things. We do a lot of these things, and shame on me, don't share a lot of this sometimes, so I just wanted to let you know that that's one of the things that we are doing. Reopening, we are in 3B. I do get questions about employee masks, check-ins at the gate, check-ins at the community entrance, temperature checks, and our company did meet, and we still will be wearing masks as employees for the, I think a lot of us are just waiting for that spike. The data that we use from CMS, the things we get, right? That's not the data we get. We are at a 1.8 positivity rate in Williamson County, which is fantastic. That's down from 2.4 last week. But you know, 4th of July is coming up, and I think I saw something in the paper today that spikes are going up after birthday parties. Maybe I made that up. I thought I saw that in the paper. So anyways, a lot of us in certain situations would like to get rid of the mask, but we're working with Life Care Services, and so at this point we're not going to be changing the check-ins, the masks, or the temperature taking, which again I find the temperature taking somewhat amusing, but I will leave it at that. Sherry does a great job at the gate, though. We're lucky to have had her through this whole situation. Employee vaccinations, again, we were pushing real hard in June. The real area of reopening that can really discuss is food and beverage. You know, we're looking at Steeplechase Lounge, and when you know, Southern Oak, and Guess, and buffets, and Sunday, 4th of July. And for that reason, Mark Black is doing a town hall tomorrow at 1 o'clock here in this room. Everybody probably remembers he used to do those from time to time rather frequently, very well attended, good interaction, and Mark's been working on some of these things, so we thought it was time for him to, in fact he would have done it today, but I didn't let him bump me. So that is tomorrow at 1 o'clock here in this room. So if you're interested, please feel free to attend. Other business. In 2019, Life Care Services had a Chef of the Year competition, and this was a real big deal. First time we'd ever done it. And Jonathan King was one of the 5 finalists, our chef. In the 5 finalists, there was somebody from Florida, South Carolina, Chicago, here, and I think San Diego were the 5 finalists, and they competed at the Cisco Foods headquarters in Houston, Texas, which is an impressive, the kitchens they have and everything is real impressive. I was lucky to attend that. Chef Jonathan did not win it, but he was a runner-up, did a great job. 2020, he was ready to win the crown, and we obviously didn't have that because we had no travel. Our company did postpone it in 2021, so we did not have it again, but instead they came up with a Champions of the Year contest where they asked communities, did you do something special, something fun during the COVID pandemic that you're proud of, that was well received? And of course, a lot of us, we accomplished something and just move on to the next one. So everybody sat down and started thinking of it. And the week-long cruise theme that we did here with pictures, I actually have a picture of me. I look like Crockett from Miami Vice with my pastel and my long hair, but we submitted that, and we were one of the 5 finalists. We did not win, but is it like someone casting a spell on me? But anyways, we did not win that. The Cypress of Charlotte won it, but we were a finalist. So real proud. Community Life Services and food and beverage worked extremely hard. Obviously, there's always behind the scenes for setup. If I start moving because someone's putting pins or something, voodoo doll, on Tuesday of this week, we had. I'm waiting for candid camera to. I don't even know what that is. Sorry, that throws me off still. This has been happening to me for years, but it still throws me off. All right, LCS had a Champions of the Year. We had a chef. Oh, wait a minute. Every year we have we call it the lender owner meeting, and it's where we bring our the banks that loan us money and the owners and life care services people that are involved in securing financing. We could not do that last year, but we had that meeting on Tuesday. We had bankers from Pinnacle Bank, who's the lead lender in the construction loan for Redbud. For those who are not aware, the construction loan was matured last October. Kind of tough to make a lot of sales during the pandemic, and so they extended that to December of this year. We'd love to hit that. Not real sure we're going to. Pinnacle understands that, good bank to work with. So Pinnacle was here, First Bank was here, local, and then Bankers Trust is the other third lender involved with that, and they're out of Des Moines, Iowa. So we had 7 bankers, life care services people, and we had our local partners, John Stone and John Cooper were both here. So we were priority over the First Lady. He came here first before he met her at the airport. But it was a good meeting. Everybody's, the bankers, the owners are so supportive of everything that you're doing, that we're doing. Very pleased with what's happening. Very much in this for the long run, and got a lot of positive feedback. So that was good to hear, good to see, good to have everybody on site. And yes, we all wear masks. So, but that happened. And the putting green, unless something changes, then quickly, the putting green, the old one we had a problem where the cups filled up with water, or when it rained, they pushed up, so the cup was higher than the ground, which is really difficult to make a pot most of the time. So we said, okay, we want one where this doesn't happen. We said, brand new one, it's beautiful, and I think about a month ago I went out, 8 of the 9 cups had about 3 inches of water in them. So LSI and their contractor have agreed at their cost to come in and put drains at all 9 holes and hopefully fix it once and for all. The key here is LSI and their contractor have said they will do this on their dollar. So normally we jump at that, even though it will be a pain in the neck. They're telling us hopefully no more than 2 weeks, and July 12th is the week that we're scheduled. Once it gets closer, Eddie will send something out and get that, but just want to let everybody know. Before we do question and answer, we have a very distinguished group of people in our front row, and I would like to turn the microphone over to Resident Council Chair, Ms. Nancy Carey. The reason Judy's so happy about the microphone is because I always use the ear mic with the piece, but with the mask coming on and off, I've heard about how hard hearing aids are with the masks, and I'm assuming it's similar, so here you go, Ms. Carey.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. 2 of the very many things that I'm excited about and proud of here at the Heritage are the Residents Association and the Resident Council, and of course they go hand in glove. By virtue of moving into the Heritage, you become a Resident Association member. No cards to carry, but you do absolutely serve as a voting member, which is your voice in the community. In December of this year, there'll be our annual meeting of the Resident Association. Last year, of course, we could not have that, unfortunately. John, this coming December, I think you're going to have to open everything up, and I think this place is going to be packed for the association meeting. I certainly hope so. How many of you were first residents back in, 2008? How many of you? Could I see hands? People who were here. So I really should have had you be the ones. Yeah, John, you were here too. I really should have had you up here talking about this. But as I understand it, you forward-thinking residents and John Taggett got together and quickly realized that there needed to be some sort of circle of information in the community, going from management to residents and from residents back to management. But that was just absolutely essential to having a good, viable community. So you got together, you wrote some bylaws, and quickly decided that it would be unwieldy to have everybody here at the community meeting as often as you needed to. So you came up with the idea of a resident council, and that being what's evolved into the council today, a 9-member council that meets once a month. And we try to do the business of the association. The bylaws are our guide always on that. But the resident council is the bridge between the association, between the members, and between the management, the suits, if you will. The resident, well, who knows? I have to back up just a second here. Who knows who the first chair of the resident council was? You know this, you old timers. Who? Diane? It was Lucille Neighbors, of course. Your friend, she's in Summerfield. Oh, I know how badly she wanted to be here today, but of course that wasn't possible. But it was Lucille. Larry Hogrieve served. Carolyn Oler reached out to me, was one of the very first people who reached out when I was elected to the council, and I certainly appreciated that. Dwight Baptist, we'll never get over missing Dwight Baptist. Harold Bingham, where are you? Oh, you promised to be here. Harold, not here? Oh, let me down. Well, anyway, Harold was the chairperson back in 2019 when Bill and I moved in, and I just marveled at how seamlessly he got up in front and talked. Robert Jones, Robert, you're here. Stand up, wave to the folks. Robert Jones was the chairperson last year during COVID. Can you imagine being a chair of anything during COVID? We did not close up shop. No, we couldn't always meet, but the resident council and the association certainly was served thanks to Robert's steadfastness. He stuck with it, and he's my neighbor, and I've never heard him complain about all the hard work that he had to do. A little bit about the current resident council and how it works. It's a rotating committee. 3 new people are voted on each year in the fall, and 3 members go off. Those 3 pickle in the middle members in January help us all come together and gel as a committee. Of course, you know there's Magnolia, Dogwood, Redbud, the Garden Villas, and the villas and the duplex villas serve as one entity, and each year the bylaws say, and we are strictly following them every year to make sure that one of those council members come from each of those buildings. Please do not think that somebody from Magnolia only serves the people in Magnolia. That could not be any further from the truth. Every single resident council member works for every single one of you. I'd like for you sometime, when you have a minute, to look at the bylaws. I think it will tell you a little bit about why we are doing things the way we do it. A good way is to look at the very last couple of pages in your resident handbook. A lot of good information there about the council. You can also find the bylaws, and you can find the minutes of the resident council meeting, the monthly meeting, in Touchtown, in the library. Go in the library, look at the big window to the left. There are some really big white binders that actually Burnett helps us with, and you'll find the minutes in there. Also, there are the minutes of the 8 committees that answer to the resident council and ultimately to the resident association, which is y'all. I love the word y'all, it covers so much. But there's at least on every single committee that we have, the 8 committees, there is a liaison. One of the resident council people will sit in on those meetings and occasionally say a word or 2. Now, let me talk about the very big elephant in the room. Yeah, we've got an elephant here, folks. The resident association and the resident council do not make decisions. Folks, we don't run the Heritage. Get over it. We pay people to run the Heritage. John and his merry band are paid. LCS in Des Moines are paid. And oh, let me tell you, those attorneys are paid. I did not know Des Moines had so many attorneys. If you don't like something that came out during COVID, I'm just saying, might have been one of those attorneys, who knows? I'm often asked, and I know each of the committee members is asked, well, if you can't make decisions, are you wasting your time? I don't think so. I don't think any of us would give our time each month to a very long, sometimes extra long meeting if we thought we were wasting our time. That simply doesn't make sense. So, are we heard? Yes, I think we're heard. I'll tell you a quick little story. A couple of months ago at one of the resident council meetings, I made a statement. It was an honest statement. I frequently make statements and I stand by my statements. But it was trying to pull together what I was hearing from the other members, trying to sum it up in one little package. And I didn't think anything more about it. Until a couple of weeks ago, John Taggett said, I took your comment to the suits at LCS. And my first reaction was, oh, really? But then I thought, doggone it, good. Thank you for doing that. And thank you for not trying to soften it, or to make it pretty, or to make it something that wasn't really true. He took my exact words. So I'm having to, yeah, I know. John's laughing, and I'm having to live with it, so be it. But I know we were heard. You know, what LCS does with it, maybe in a totally different thing. I don't know. But before I introduce the current council, are there people here who have served in any way or any time on the resident council? Any of you served on the resident council? I thought I saw some of you. Okay, stand up and let people see you, that you are members. There you go. Thank you. And thank you for doing that. We still follow the precedents. It's not written in the bylaws what they did, but they sort of paved the way, and for that we're very thankful. We can only serve you if you tell us what you're thinking. So we need your ideas. We need your suggestions. Oh yeah, and I know you've got complaints. Let us hear those. And the compliments. Compliments go so far in this world. How do you let us know what you're thinking? Well, drop it in our box, leave us a note, text us, email, phone call us, chase us down the hall when you see us going somewhere. It's not bothering us, because people usually start with, I'm sorry to bother you. No, it's not a bother. It's our job. We serve for 3 years. We can serve for another 3 if we're elected, and that's what we agreed to do. So make us do our job. Keep us honest, please. I would like for our current group of resident council people to stand up. Now, I know I had told them I would give them the phone and tell them, John, I'm catching it from you, the microphone, and let them introduce themselves. But I know they would just say their name and their liaison job, and that doesn't really tell you the whole story about this group. So stand up, turn around, look at the people, and let me introduce you. First of all, I want to say Mendel Mayer is our co-vice chair this year. He's having some tests done today, so he's not here. He's the liaison to the activity committee, and we're certainly wishing him well today. The first gentleman is John Philbrick. He's our secretary extraordinaire. He's been a great sounding board, I can't tell you. John, thank you for still answering my emails, answering my texts, and answering the phone when I call, because I know I've been sort of a pest this year, but I really do appreciate all your help. And he is the liaison to the library committee. Next person is a first-year member of the committee. Oh, Miss Energy, Enthusiasm. Try keeping up with this woman. She's also the go-to person for any kind of research. If you want to know something about what's been going on, she will just research the daylights out of it. Carl Mack is next, and he has been a member of the council before, but we had a vacancy early this year, so he stepped in and just seamlessly has become a contributing member. He's had experience with the Resident Gift Fund before, so you know we tapped him right away, and you'll be seeing him in connection with that. He's on the Welcoming Committee, and we're thankful that we've had him. Marcia Kalish is next. This is, again, a new member. Marcia knows so much stuff about so many things. She's really kind of amazing, and she asks the best questions. A whole list of questions went to Des Moines. We're waiting to hear back from Des Moines on this. Robert Jones, I've told you about his chairmanship, and of course he's been such a resource this year for us. Everybody on a committee, you know that sooner or later you need a little bit of levity on the committee. Robert is that for us. We don't always understand his humor, but we laugh. Anyway, so thank you, Robert. Darnell, I think Darnell Locker is one of the hardest working residents here at the Heritage. She's always asking us, well, does this really benefit the community? If it doesn't, she doesn't want to hear a thing about it, and thank you for that. She's taken on the chairmanship for the gift fund this year, so trust me, you are going to be hearing and seeing a lot from Darnell Locker. She's the liaison to the Finance Committee. And last but certainly not least is our friend, most of you know him, Martin Stickley. He's again the co-vice chair. He's been a huge help over the last years with staffing our committees. I refer to him, maybe he doesn't know this, but I refer to him as Mr. Steady. Martin doesn't say a lot, but when he does speak, we listen. And he has good ideas, and we thank him for that. And he's on liaison to the Facilities Committee. Thank you to this year's. My thanks to you and my thanks to the committee for making this what I consider a good year. And if you have suggestions, comments, please see us.
Thank you very much. Nice job. What really gets me going is when I hear someone say, well, the committees, they don't do anything. It's nothing, we talk about the council, they don't have any power. It's like, when we started the committees and we started everything, and I remember I had this question, because people were used to condo associations, homeowners associations, and I've had that question a million times, and I just said, I understand, but I promise we won't waste your time. We're not going to ask you to do this if we don't find value to it. And the council, and we've had several, and the committees too. I mean, again, I think I mentioned before COVID, my line was, we're all in this together, but I will never say that again, I don't think. But that was, we all want the best for the community. When over the years, I have someone I always report to in Des Moines that's called the Director of Operations Management. And 2-3 times a year, when they're in town, I try to set up a meeting with the resident council and the finance committee to have FaceTime, to go over, to ask questions. And a lot of people start wringing their hands if the corporate people come in. You pay the bills and you pay the management fee. I want to see what you're getting. I want you to see what you're getting for your money. So we will. I swear, they put a timer on their phone for Thursday between 2 and 3 to get out here with the weed eater or the blower. I haven't done live meetings for over a year. They're trying to, it's like throwing bottles at me. But I want that interaction. We all want to make the community better. And we don't agree all the time. We don't see eye to eye. We don't just get in the room and hold hands and look into each other's eyes. I mean, that's not, but we don't take personal attacks. It's not adversarial. Once it gets adversarial, and that's happened in a lot of our communities over the years, there's no win in that. So they're very, we have great meetings. Again, we just try to problem solve. If the committees or the council, if there's something they want to do and it makes sense, we do it. Sometimes we might say, well, we can do that, but that would be 1% monthly fee to everybody across the board, and that usually stops the conversation. That's usually the finance committee. But I just want to put in, I mean, it's a good group in the committees and get involved. And I know the community I was at before I came here, you would have people on the same committee for 8 years, 9 years, and they'd serve on 3 committees. You go to different committees, you wouldn't even know it because it was the same people. The bylaws that they put together, the residents here, I mean, they came up with the gift fund. We can't, if the Heritage gets involved with the resident gift fund, the IRS could look at that as a gift, and that means they get taxed on it. They handle all this, and this has gone through generations of council. So good job, and appreciate it, and thank you for doing this. And does anybody have any questions? Yes. You can do whatever you want. That's Ms. Nickel, if my contacts aren't lying.
That is.
Okay.
Will this meeting today be put on the 9/20 for those who could not come today?
We'll look to move meeting as I'm seeing 3 heads nod back there. Yeah, so I think last month, I think there was there a little delay before it actually got put on the app for Touchdown?
Yes.
There was a little, but does this go on the app and on 920 now? Because so many people got used to the virtual meetings that we want to continue to do this. So yes, it will.
Second question, I talked with Nancy about this. I'm lucky because I have a husband who is very technically intelligent. But not everybody can use touchdown. And I hear from my neighbors, it's very frustrating to get information on touchdown if they don't put it on 920 also.
Okay, her comment was that she has someone under her roof that is pretty technologically advanced and can handle things like the Touchdown app, but there are other people that have trouble with Touchdown. If it's not on Touchdown, they like to see things on 920. Does Michael helping out with Touchdown and things like that if people need, Michael does a real nice job to get you set up, but like this meeting is on, if it's on Touchdown, and once it's on, you can watch it anytime you want. When it's 9:20, we have certain times that I think we post, saying nods, but
Well, having to sign up for different sections with them has been very difficult because it's
signing up with him has been difficult because of limited. Yeah.
So will we be able to address some of these?
I think he's doing a lot of these, right?
Yes, this is Ashley Emerson. Michael is hosting sessions, but he is still doing one-on-one appointments, and you can call the front desk or Karen to schedule those appointments with him.
So
So I answered my question. So whatever is on Touchdown is not necessarily on 920.
whatever's on Touchdown, no. Touchdown is an app with all sorts, I mean, that has minutes of committee meetings, it has directories, it has, we could not put all that on 920.
But it's
That'd be-
difficult. I
It's
know
like-
there's some people who cannot do it.
Well, with Michael can get with, I know it's difficult for some people, but I think the people that, we have an employee Touchdown app that I can't have both, or maybe I don't know how to do both. I keep the resident app, because I refer to that all the time. Directory, I've looked at that for COVID memos and everything like that. So if somebody's having a hard time, now if somebody chooses not to have the technology to get the app, I mean, we can get them that on their PC, I believe. They're nodding their heads. But if somebody doesn't have the technology, then Michael really can't help them. But the majority of the people do. So if somebody's having a question, have Michael. I mean, Michael's a teacher. That's what his training is, and he does a pretty nice job with that. Because once somebody gets the hang of it, there's so much information there, but it really is a good tool. Mr. Mack.
We're going to have to find out do a presentation here for people that understand what's given once we have a lot of new citizens.
Mr. Mack says that Michael has already done this presentation. Is that what you're saying? Oh, the presentation, I think it was done by, wasn't the original touchdown presentation, didn't Ashton Burnett, you're raising, yes, you're right. I mean, if we have a need for that.
We can do another one. Michael was at the original.
I feel like I'm talking to the Wizard of Oz, man.
Michael was at the original session to provide assistance, so we can definitely add that to the July list of sessions.
Okay. Well, that's
Every month, Michael offers multiple sessions over different topics, and most of the time, the topic ideas come straight from the residents.
Okay. But he is doing one-on-one appointments.
Yes.
Definitely. Well, I want to thank Mr. Russell last night. I got his email and had totally forgotten Vanderbilt was playing baseball, and so I got his email saying, fantastic finish, so I quick went to ESPN, it's like, oh, I wish I would have been watching that. Thank you for that. Yes, Blocker.
There is an awful lot of people who are not on the telephone. And it's just a matter of not having it set up on their computer, not being on reason. And it is very useful, particularly in the address area. And getting information about people. We need to encourage
No, but she's saying that some people don't know how to set it up and get it going, and I think that's what the session would be. But if you're hearing people saying they don't know how to get set up, they need to reach out to us, because we can't, the Touchdown app does not have a place to look to see who wants to get it set up, but hasn't told us. We're looking for that. So, but I mean, if you let us know and they step forward, we'll Ashley.
In addition to Michael, residents can stop by and see Karen or the receptionist, or I can help them. There are several of us in the building, Ashley Burnett as well, that can assist with this. If you see us in the hallway and it jogs your memory, just stop us and we'll assist you if you need, or your friends or your neighbors. Let them know that.
And if they're scared, tell them you'll come with them. All right. Great to see everybody. Have a good afternoon. Thanks for coming.